What's up, everybody? To my kinfolk in Tennessee, all the way to the Philippines. Of course, I'm back in Tennessee right now, sitting here thinking about how we're getting screwed. I mean, basically, uh, was in the Philippines for 10 months and realized that, the everything they've got us over here in the West. I mean, groceries, I guess, would probably be the number one that I wanted to talk to you about, but toilet paper. Like, I hadn't used toilet paper in 10 months being over there. So it's like the bum gun versus toilet paper or a bidet. You could easily get a bidet. I don't know about the Philippines because it's pretty much bum guns, but I'm sure you could probably find one. But yeah, it's uh it's definitely a lot more expensive here in the West. The groceries, man, because, well, when I lost 110 pounds in 10 months, being out there eating that clean food, I didn't, when I came back here, I was bound and determined not to put it on. So I ate a high protein breakfast, which usually consists of chicken, boneless chicken thighs, a couple eggs of the morning. Then I'll have, like, peanut butter and crackers or something for lunch, if I have lunch, or I'll just do a gluten-free sandwich wrap um, for dinner. Last night I did make a hamburger steak for the first time. It was grass-fed beef, 80/20. So, realistically, I'd like to lose another 20, 30 pounds while I'm here because it's going to be a few months apparently before I can go back home to the Philippines, because to me that is home. Um, it's not for everybody, This is for entertainment purposes only, because I'll be honest with you, man, you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to adapt to your environment. And, bum gun, and if you're in the province, you don't even have a bum gun. You have a bucket of water, and you have to, you take off all your clothes, especially if you're from the West. Now, I'm sure they've got it down because they've been doing it since they was a kid, and then you pour it down your back side, and then after you pour it down your backside, you use your free hand to clean your butthole with. So then you wash your hands, of course, afterwards. But it was very challenging for this old boy. Now my grandpa, he had an old outhouse. He never had indoor plumbing. He had a well on his front porch with some of the coldest, cleanest drinking water. Bust your teeth. It was so cold. Uh, and I love going out there. But the outhouse was a big thing back in the day. That's pretty much what, before septic tanks and indoor plumbing, that's what everybody had, is outhouses. Um, there they call them CRs, comfort rooms, but depends on what the toilet looks like. A lot of them don't have seats, and some of them is just like the bowl itself, and it's set down into the concrete, and it it's not the same, and a lot of Westerners can't get used to it. A lot of them go over there and then they start bitching about everything. It's like, it ain't the West, that's for dang sure. That's why you left. So if you don't like it, you don't like the way that, they can't drive over there. Everybody that's driven over there knows that, compared to the West, their driving skills aren't the best, almost Cracker Jack box. Uh, but, you got to get used to it, and you got to be able to adapt. Oh my God, there's somebody down there floating on the river today on a floaty. I guess she's just getting her sun. I don't know. Looks pretty wild because it's kind of cool, and she's already out there. So, well, I was going to try to go down and get this homeless camp. But I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to have to move because these guys are drilling holes. I guess they see me out here. They don't do nothing all day long. They've been milking this playground for at least a month, maybe a month and a half. They've just been milking it. So they work for the city. I guess they can. But me and the toilet paper cost out here. I mean, it's $20 a roll, 20, 20, 20. I mean, not a roll, but a pack. It's $20, $20. And I know, you know, just on groceries alone, just feeding myself, and that's just on the bare minimum. I do buy the deli meat. I do buy gluten-free wraps. I do try to get organic fruits, apples, oranges, because I don't trust the system anymore. The GMOs, the pesticides. You still need to wash it regardless. But I'm all about organic. I'm all about healthy eating, healthy living. You know, feel feel better. Especially if I can get some more weight. Get it down. And even if I stay the same, I know when I get back, it's going to come off. I know it is because it's got no other choice but to come off. Um, but yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. You don't you don't really know until you know. You know, and I'm here to tell you they're busted. If I was a Western to move back to America, I would I would have a bidet in my house for sure, 100%. Or a bum gun. Which is basically like a kitchen sink gun. If you're a Westerner, the kitchen sink gun. It's basically the same concept, but it attaches to your wall. So it's hanging out down here with friends, and uh, thank God she's not drank any alcohol in like four nights. It's been actually the most, and I've been praying for it too. I'm like, Lord, like I need the peace. Like I can't handle this madness, and that's what it was, is drunk madness. But she's got a doctor's appointment tomorrow in Nashville, so hopefully that right there will um, be enough to um, make her quit drinking. Hoping, but it's uh it's still a long shot. But I still got a few months here. I got to handle all this stuff with workman's comp, man. It's insurance. I think it's just the insurance companies as a whole. I don't really think it's so much that one, but these companies pay their premium not knowing when an accident's going to happen, especially one that almost takes a man's life. And it did, actually twice. Once here with the accident itself, and then once out there with the infection that came up in the leg. Um, and then I ended up having surgery in the Philippines. So it's been a very, very tough 2 years for sure. But God's got me through it. He's going to see me through all this, and I can put it behind me. I can get back to the Philippines, where I absolutely love. I'm not one of these Westerns that, I mean, I see them on TikTok all the time, man. They get on here and they bitch about the corruption. They bitch, look, man, take your ass back to the West. Get out of the Philippines. Get out, you freaking babies. Get out of the Philippines. Just leave. Ain't nobody wants to hear your bitching about another country. If you don't like that country, go find you another country. Go to South America. I'm sure you can find something to bitch about down there. You know, but if you don't like this channel, find you another channel. I mean, I know this channel is going to get better once I get back, because I'm definitely going to I'm going to show y'all how beautiful that place really is. And it is gorgeous. Some of the best motorcycle riding you'll ever do. Mountains, uh, beautiful waterfalls, beaches. I've got a lot in store. I've just got to get back to it, uh, and I will. God willing, I will. So as soon as I do, man, it's people will see. I don't that don't mean you have to come out there to live, or You know, it's for some people, it's not for others. You know, it really isn't. I've seen it. I've seen these TikTokers get on there, and this one guy, I don't even know his name, but man, he just complains all the time, just like, oh this, oh that, all these earthquakes, this corruption out here. This look, man, there's corruption all over the world, man. This is perilous times we're in right now. You know, if you don't see that, then you're lost anyway. You know, if all you want to do is complain, you know, find you another country, man. I mean, there's plenty of countries to complain about. Go to North Korea, hang out over there for a few months. See how you like that. You know, uh, go to Iran. You know, I hear they like visitors. You know, especially white Americans, since we just dropped a bunch of bombs on their facilities. No thanks to the Zionists that's over there running Israel. But that's just my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. I don't, this world's gone to hell in a handbasket, really. But thank God there's still some Bible believers. And I've been thinking too. The about this grocery. I mean, literally, you spend $200 a week here, where in the Philippines you can spend $100 a week and eat twice as healthy, probably three times as healthy, because the pigs, the pork out there, if you eat pork, don't have the antibiotics, don't have the human growth hormones. They don't have any of that stuff. The the vegetables so fresh. They're not jacked up big onions. They're little bitty tiny onions. They're little bitty tiny onions. They're the garlic's fresh. Um, Everything's pretty well homegrown. The fruit just melt in your mouth. It's so good, it will literally melt in your mouth. Look, I come back around here, they're taking a nice break. You know, I guess they see me with the selfie stick, and then they want to dig another hole. So, typical city workers, like state workers. You know what I mean? You got one man working, five men standing around watching him. So, uh, it's just different, man. It's just different world, man. You either got to be fully committed to change and be able to adapt to what's you know what their culture is. You got to adapt to pretty much everything when you go over there. You can't just go over there and think, oh, it's going to be like the West and all these. You're not going to find. You better take your razors. If you like fusion razors, they do have Mach 3s. I did find them on my island. Now, if you go to a big city like Manila and you're a city person, you like condo living, Cebu, yeah, you might can find more things there. But where I'm at, you're not going to find that. And you get out in the province, you sure ain't going to find it. You're going to have to travel back to the mall. Um, find you a Watson's pharmacy. They sell, and they just sell shaving cream. I like using shaving gel, but it, that's another thing. Take your own cologne. If you're a man, take your own cologne. Take your shaving gel. Should take your a bunch of razors. Get you enough that if you have to come back or whatever to get more. Hopefully Amazon will be running on the island that I'm at, which is Mindanao. You know, I'm hoping that the Amazon right now. I've heard a couple, you know, that they don't. But you can go Shopee and there's other little Japanese or Chinese, that you can get. You know, I've had to get like 15 new shirts. I've lost so much weight. So I've got to get new shorts to take back. Um, Compression sock for my leg that had the surgery. I mean, and I'm still looking maybe at even having another surgery on it, vein wise later on. I mean, it's got to run through the system. It's got to go through workers comp. It's got to go through all this stuff. So there's a lot to culture wise, there's a lot to deal with. There really is. It's not. It's the English. They say everybody speaks English out there. It's not true. Uh, a lot of the drivers, they don't speak English. They speak Tagalog, or they speak Ilongo, or they'll speak something different. You know what I mean? So get Lisa's car in that little shot. I'm sure she'll love that. Wow, somebody, they're all bathing suited up down there. Got the little kayaks. Heck yeah. So people's going kayaking still. I mean, it's cool, cold kind of nights, but it's kind of warm during the day, So it feels good out here right now. It actually feels like fall. Since I had the government shut down, we got some beautiful blue skies, you know. Even though they did pass the Clean Air Act here in Tennessee, was probably one of the first states to pass it, with the government spraying their little chemicals, you know, just trying to play God. Anybody that mocks our Creator, you know what that's going to bring upon them. So, hey, good luck with it. Good luck with your ignorance. I'm sure it's going to get you a fine place, but it ain't for me anymore. You know, once your eyes are open to the false flags of 9/11, not just 9/11, Oklahoma City bombing. Uh, once you really dive into them things, they call them conspiracy theories, but that's just a way for them to try to cover up the truth. And you see who's really behind it, and then you see that we're friends with that country, probably the only friends that country has, and you wonder a lot, So me, I go over there. I don't got to worry about the politicians running. Do they like the president? A lot of them don't. But that's not. I don't care. I'm not voting. I'm not. I'm not worried about the drama over here in America. It's so peaceful, and the people are so kind, But just you just got to be. You got to be ready. You got to be ready for change, man. Like major change, and I was. Trust me, I was ready. 110%. I was so ready to get out of here, man. I planned on, a little 6 week stay, 5 week stay, come right back, handle this, get all this behind me. But it didn't pan out that way. I got that infection, ended up in the hospital for a couple months out there, then ended up, healing time was 5 or 6 months. So by the time I got back here, it was just a blessing, really. But uh, I really can't wait to get back out there, show y'all the beautiful waterfalls, the mountain rides going up. I'm really investing a little bit into Instant 360 to hook onto my motorcycle, uh, and everything. Just trying to get ready. To show you. Just I'm doing it for fun. I'm not here trying to make money. I don't care. I'm just here to do it for you guys and show y'all how beautiful a place it really is, and not the negative. Because there are negatives. Trust me, there's negative here. There's negative everywhere you're going to go. Traffic, or you can find something to complain about. But man, I'm not that guy. I don't look for complaints. I look for the good, and I generally find it. I mean, God has blessed me, to generally find the good in this world. And sometimes you just have to travel. Got a couple guys down there fishing. There's a boat dock literally right in front of me, and we got a couple guys down there fishing now. That girl was gonna put her kayak in. Them guys come down now. She's coming back up with her kayak. So I don't know what that means, but it's a beautiful little town, man. And, it's got the water treatment facilities right there, to my right, and it's definitely in this hot heat. They smell it. I haven't smelled it. They smell the waste. But I haven't really smelled it. You know, uh, I do want to stress about the price difference. You're going to save money, especially if you're on a fixed income. You're going to save money in the Philippines. So just food for thought. You guys can think it over. If you've been debating on it, man, don't debate. Don't sit here and prolong it because you're just procrastinating what you know. If you feel it in your heart and you feel that's where your heart's being tugged to go. But don't do no long distance relationships unless you've done met her and then had to come back, you know, because that's hard. I mean, you don't really know what you got like I did the first time. I didn't know what I had, and come to find out, it was the wrong. I had to, made the wrong choices there, But it's okay, I've been blessed since then. I'm still here. I got purpose here, so well, maybe not here, but definitely in the Philippines, So I'm gonna get this handled, get all this put behind me, and just move forward. Just move forward. I am gonna show y'all some content. My truck's got to get fixed. Uh, Blew the tranny out, and I tried to get it fixed before I left, and the guy was 2 months behind. So, and he's still behind. He's a great mechanic, so that's why he stays covered up. But as soon as he gets my truck up and going, I'm gonna take y'all up through the mountains, show y'all how beautiful this state is, and then maybe even up East Tennessee, up Gatlinburg, for a weekend. So y'all just hold tight, because I'm telling you, it won't be these talking head videos of me just trying to explain the differences in my experiences, So it's definitely going to be uh, more travel than it is just me talking. But I want everybody to have a blessed day. Just stay positive in this negative world. Like there's so much negativity. Just stay positive and look good, smell good, feel good. Do it all. I mean, we got one shot at this, and let's try to make it count for each other. Okay. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank y'all.